Hey guys, Blackie here, and today I'm just gonna be talking about trapping on Pr2. It's something that I've been wanting to make for a while because I have seen a little bit more interest with people in trapping, and I've had some people ask me like just some general tips or like things that make you better. So this is gonna be a really basic guide for people that are really new to trapping. It'll go over stats and your keyboard, pretty much. That's all we're going to be talking about. I might go a little bit into kind of the mechanics, but we'll see what happens. So, probably the most important thing for me is actually my keyboard. And that might sound a little odd, but in most older laptops and computers, the keyboards can only handle 2 keystrokes at a time. So that means that you can hold up and right, but if you try to go back left, it won't work unless you let go of one of the buttons. And this can be problematic in trapping if you're pretty much jumping up for a trap, but you have to hold left because you need to go slow because there's a trap at the end. You might not be able to do that unless you let go of one of your buttons, and that can be hard to coordinate. So using arrow keys, if you only can hold 2 buttons at once, I would not recommend using arrow keys. I'll show you how to fix that. So you're going to go to options, and here you can see that instead of arrow keys, I use I, L, K, and J. And then item, pretty much you could just use spacebar. You could use anything you want. It's really up to you. I just use S. It's what works for me, but find out what works for you. So the benefits of using ILKJ is you can hold up and another key at the same time. So you can hold up, like if you're jumping up for that and you need to hold up and right, you can turn back left really quickly. And also, if there was an item in this level, which as far as I know there isn't, you can hold up and right and use the item at the same time. And this probably is a little bit more useful in death matches than it is in trapping, but I guess one thing, oh look, there's item, but yeah, this is perfect actually. You can actually use a jetpack, and you can hold up and right and use a jetpack, which is not possible using arrow keys, and that actually makes jetpack courses a lot more easier. So that's another pretty big benefit of using IJKL. It may be a little bit hard to get used to at first if you've used arrow keys for like your whole life, but I can tell you from personal experience that it will definitely be worth it. So, alright, next thing I'm going to go over here is stats. And stats are really important. I guess I'd have to say that the most important stat is jump, which may surprise people because they'll think that acceleration is, like having insanely high acceleration will make trapping a lot easier. And to a certain extent it does, but actually I'd say jump is more important. So the 2 optional stats that I would recommend for jump is either 46 or 56. I use 56 because it's a lot easier for me. I have a lot of benefits with 46. I can low jump, which I can demonstrate later. But with 56 jump, you can jump up to a height of 5 blocks, which some people really like. With 46 jump, you can only jump up to a height of 4 blocks. And that may not sound like a lot, but actually in most trap levels, you will not actually need 56 jump. There's only a handful of pro trap levels I know that require 56 jump. So I can demonstrate some of the benefits of 46 jump right here, but first I'm going to go through the other stats. So for speed, if you're a lower rank, then you're going to want to use 57 speed. And the reason for this is that Jiggy sucks at programming, and if your speed ends in a 7, then it actually, in the game, it'll actually add 7, and so 57 speed will actually equal 64 speed. And that doesn't really make any sense, but it does work, and you can test it yourself. So if you were using 47 speed, for instance, that would actually be equal to 54 speed. So this only works with speed, so it doesn't work with like acceleration or something, but I'd recommend using 57 speed if you're a lower rank and you need all the acceleration points that you can get. But yeah, I actually just use 65 speed. It's just like what I've used for the past few years, what I'm used to. But speed is more of a less useful stat. I would not recommend going over 70 because you'll move really fast and you may lose a little bit of control, and so that could hurt you. For acceleration, if you have enough of a rank, I'd recommend going 80 plus. I use 84. I actually just ranked up recently, so I could use 85, but I haven't really got the time to test out how that works, so I've used 84 acceleration for over a year. That's what I'm used to. But I mean, once you get over 80, acceleration isn't as big of a deal. The only major downside of using high acceleration is that moving around in water, you move faster, and sometimes this can lead to trouble because you'll move really fast into a trap that you weren't expecting. But I'll briefly demonstrate some of the benefits of 46 jump. I'm not really familiar with 56 jump. I haven't used that often, so I couldn't really tell you much about that. But here's this is probably a trap that you've seen, and if you don't use 46 jump, this trap isn't impossible, but it's a lot harder. So with 46 jump, this is actually a pretty simple trap once you get the hang of it. It'll take a little bit of practice. It's just a really light jump tap, and if you have high acceleration, you don't actually need to hold the down arrow when you do this. A lot of people do, but that's actually not necessary. And so yeah, I guess I tested this out with lower stats, and if you have lower speed and lower acceleration, you may not be able to do this trap without holding down. So I'd recommend at least trying to get consistent at this, because this is actually a pretty common trap nowadays, so it's really important to work on that. Alright, so right now I'm in a level, it's Lethal Traps by LMFAO, with the 2 dashes on either side, or whatever that is called. But I'm going to try to explain how to use jump properly, and if you are new to low jump, 46 jump, it'll probably be really confusing to you, but the main benefit that you get is control. And so the reason I like 46 jump is because the max height is 4 blocks. Actually, you can jump 4 blocks with 44 jump, that is the minimum, but 46 jump is really nice because it allows you to do a 4 block high head glitch, and you may not know what I'm talking about with that, but I'll try to get an example of that in here. But with 44 jump, it's really hard to do a 4 block head glitch. It is possible, but it's like insanely hard and won't be worth your time to try. A lot of people actually do use 45 jump, and if you're a lower rank and you're really struggling to get higher stats, you could use 45, but it still is pretty difficult to master a 4 block high head glitch. And again, I'll try to demonstrate what that looks like. But jump really is the most important stat here, because once you memorize the jump heights, all the jump heights of 46 jump, you'll know beforehand where exactly you're going to be landing, how high you're going to be going, and it's just going to make traps a whole lot easier. And so just memorizing the jump taps with lower jump is easier than memorizing the jump taps with higher jump, like 56, because with 56 jump you can jump up to a height of 5 blocks, and memorizing all the jump taps for that can be a bit of a struggle. I mean, you can definitely be a pro using higher jump, but I just find it easier to use 46 jump. So, and now I'll demonstrate a 4-block high head glitch and what that means, because you're probably wondering. Alright, so I made a level, and basically this is a 4-block high head glitch. And you've probably seen this in trap levels. It's pretty common to have like a 4-block high head glitch and then like a trap at the end. And so the reason I use 46 jump is mainly for this reason. So this glitch is pretty easy with 46 jump. It just takes a little bit of practice, and it is easily possible. So just practice that. But if you use lower jump than 46, like let's say 45, this glitch still is possible. It's just a little bit tougher. And say there was like water right there in this area, getting to that with 45 jump would put you at a slight disadvantage, because you'd be going a little bit faster than if you would have jumped higher. And then if you use 44 jump, that's like, this glitch is possible, I've heard. I've never actually tried it, but it's pretty insanely hard, so I would not recommend using 44 jump. And also, if you want to go higher than 46 jump, that's an option, but I really would not recommend this, because there really aren't any benefits at all of using above 46 jump unless you're going to go to 56. So I'm going to demonstrate one other thing really quick here. Alright, there we go. So with 46 jump, it makes things a lot easier. So if you have 4 blocks high and you have a bomb right above you, you can hold up all the way and you actually won't hit that bomb. Like, see, you get really close. I'm just holding up right now, and you won't actually hit that bomb. So that's why memorizing your jumps is really easy, because if you can memorize the jump height for never hitting like a bomb that's one space lower, then you can do that trap more efficiently, and it'll help you in the long run. So memorizing the jump heights for things is really important for trapping, and that's probably one of the first things I would work on. Alright, so here I have a pretty common trap that a lot of new players have no idea how to do, and I guess I'll just demonstrate it. One of the more important things in trapping is learning how to work around in water, because a lot of people will panic in water and they'll like start doing random stuff, but there's really no need to do that. You have a lot more room to work with in water than you realize. So for this, one thing that really helps me is realizing that if you hit a normal block, as long as you don't press any other buttons, the block on the left right here, that will not affect you at all. So as long as you hit a normal block, you're safe all the way down. All you have to do is just hold down. You don't have to worry. But to get out of this, basically, you're just gonna go up a little bit and hold left. And it might be a little bit hard to get used to at first. It'll just take practice. But yeah. I'll demonstrate really quickly something else. So this is probably a less common trap. I mean, not a lot of people are going to have you moving in water this far, but it's really useful to practice with to learn like your spacing within water, because a lot of people will panic if they get into this, but really you can help control yourself by just holding yourself in water. By doing this, you can look forward to the next part of the traps and kind of analyze it, because analyzing traps is also an important skill to master, because taking the easiest route through a trap level will actually make it easier for you, believe it or not. So analyzing where traps are, like how to do them properly, like finding the easiest way is important. So just practice moving around in water. I mean, it's obviously harder to move in water if you only have one block. If you're in the middle like this, staying afloat in water without getting trapped is really easy. It's a little bit more difficult to go like that, but it really just takes a little bit of practice. Like, you could be like a complete nerd like me and practice in the level editor, or you could just like practice trap levels, which also works. So that's really all I have for this video. I hope it helped a little bit. Maybe I didn't at all, but if you liked it, just like let me know in like Pr2 PMs or a comment or something. And if you have any questions about trapping, just like give me a PM. And I may go more into depth in a different video later, but we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching.